Hello and welcome to the channel. I am back. It is the most electrifying, earth-shaking, groundbreaking, awesome, super fantastic reviewer guy and the most electrifying YouTuber in the channel today. Trademarked by The Rock. I figure I better start saying that because I don't know, maybe The Rock one day will be browsing the YouTube and for some strange reason my channel will come up and The Rock will be like, hey, who's this Rudy Poo sitting here copying and directly ripping off my lines? To which case I will not have a good answer and be absolutely terrified because that man looks like a mammoth. Anyways, why am I coming to you live late on this stream? I am doing one of my videos, one of my reviews, finally doing a review on something new, which I was eagerly awaiting. Why do I have this hood on? Because right now, it is a little chilly. I've got my car running, I've got the heat going, I'm trying to set myself into the mood. So, this review is on Us. And what can I say? I normally don't like to do a video on a movie right away. I like to let it sit in my mind a little bit, do some research, and then give my critique. God, I hate agreeing with critics because of all of the stuff that's going on. But every once in a while, something happens. Something happens where they actually get it right. It's a strange phenomenon, and I don't know how it happens. It's like seeing a unicorn, but it does. You have that one magical moment when the critics are actually correct about something. And I'll be intrigued to see audience scores. So let me just jump right into this review. And I'm going to go into the overview and then do pros, cons, what I thought of the film, and then I will tell you whether or not I think it is worth spending some hard-earned cash on. So Us is an intriguing tale about a girl who essentially starts off, and there's very vague background, but has a traumatic experience, takes some years to get over it. Flash forward, she has a family, and the events of the tragic childhood happens within this place that they go to. This little retreat, little getaway, if you would. And then a couple of years later, she has a family, she gets over it, and the family, the dad of the family, decides to go back to where this place is. I assume that he was born and raised there, he has some friends as well, etc. This movie is very interesting. Jordan Peele. Let me just start off by saying Jordan Peele is a very fascinating director. Because I did not like Get Out. I liked it up to the end. The end for me felt flat. Thank you, $3 Slice. Good to see you back on my channel. In case y'all don't know, he is one of the people who works with me and a big proponent to why I have had a constant viewer until I got more of you guys watching my reviews, so thank you. So, let me jump into this. The overview, basically what I told you. You can see it in the trailers. I'm not spoiling anything. This isn't a spoiler review, although I might do a spoiler review on this because it's so intriguing that I really have to break it down. I might even see it again. This is a see it again movie to me, and I don't know why. Just something about this film really hooked me and made my mind spark. So here we go. Let's jump into it. I'm going to do my pros and cons. I already did my overview. It is doppelganger madness, okay? You can see that from the trailer. I'm not giving too much away. These people have this vacation wacky shenanigans happen, they wind up running into people that look like them. And that's the premise of the movie. Hence the title, Us. Now, let me get into my pros. And I was starting off by saying Jordan Peele is a very intriguing director. I didn't like Get Out. I don't know why. Everyone was hyped about the film. I dug it in the beginning, and then for some reason, something happened towards the ending. I don't know where it lost me. I got the allegories. I got what he was going for, and it just didn't hit at that end note. Now, I like the characters, and I like the development. I like the storyline. Found it kind of weird. Maybe a little bit of, the racism angle and all that. I got what he was going for. And as a movie, it just fell short. Well, oh boy, this film is very interesting because I see before my eyes Jordan is really starting to evolve in the genre of horror. And the intriguing thing about this movie is I see growth and change in his narrative. His narrative is getting tighter. I can tell that he knew something about Get Out that he felt like maybe he didn't finish it right. And this movie's ending, I should have seen the ending coming. The ending, by all rights, should be very generic. But it's not. Even when you see it coming, it's not. It's hauntingly beautiful in some way that I can't describe. It's something that just got me at that ending when I found out. And I should have seen it coming. I am pretty good at these reviews. I'm pretty good at seeing where a storyline is going. And yet somehow I did not foreshadow what was going to happen. And that is to the credit of the acting. Now, I know Jordan Peele goes a lot for African American representation, and I don't see it as forced diversity issue, more of him doing a throwback, having a certain respect on flipping the genre on its head. Thank you, $3. So, it's more of him flipping this horror genre upside down is what I see. I see that he is trying new things. There's been tropes in horror movies, and the biggest Caucasian white female is the hero, and she always gets out, and you have the token friends that die, and you have the black friend who was the first one to bite the bullet and all of the nations, and he does a role reversal, and I don't think so much it's a statement as much as him toying with the genre itself. So I appreciate him leaning towards an African cast. I think that his reasons for doing it is true to what he wants to accomplish with these films. So I respect that aspect, and I don't really see it as a hindrance towards the story. This character is interesting. When I first approached this film, in the beginning, I thought maybe she was going to be a flat, generic character. And as we went through, I thought maybe some SJW was going to creep in here with a couple of scenes where the female seems to be taking the lead. But then it clicked, and I understood what was going on here. I understood where he was leading us, and I respected it. And I respected the fact that even though he had the father who was the male character, and there were a couple of parts where people might pick out that this female character is trying to hold back the male character, or that maybe he's just there for levity, in all actuality, he contributes to the movie. He is it's more of a family dynamic versus an overarching statement that this woman has to control things. And her aspect to controlling things is kind of baked into who her character is. There is things that happen to her where for a short 2-hour period, you really see the growth of this character. You see her starting off in this shy, secluded place. This place where she's kind of afraid of everything. and then you see the character growth, and the growth is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The daughter is really good in this role. She comes across as this almost teenage daughter who wants to drive and things like that. It's good. The son is good, even though he doesn't have very many lines in the movie. There's particularly good scene, and one good scene at the ending that is so great. So great that this kid pulls off so well. I mean, my mind was blown. Now, the second facet of this is the concept. The concept seems generic on the surface, but how Peele tells the story, this concept goes from being a generic concept to being fleshed out. And my God, I mean, you can tell this movie is about doppelgangers just by the trailer. Hey, PB, thank you for joining me here. I'm talking about Us. Spoiler free, so don't worry about it. If you're just joining, my overview of this movie is it is a horror film about doppelgangers. And I'm breaking down my likes. I'm going to go into my dislikes, and then I'm going to go into what I think of this film. So anyways, my overall arcing view of this is the likes. It's strong storytelling. The visuals are amazing. The aesthetics. Jordan Peele has an eye for camera work. Thank you, PB. Jordan Peele has an eye for camera work like nothing I've ever seen. The colors, the skyline, even a generic, always shoehorned into a horror movie, the stormy night, right, that sets up for the horrific thing that's going to happen. The way he places everything is amazing in this film. And I don't like Get Out. I really don't. I liked it in the beginning and it fell flat. This one, the beginning was kind of draggy, and then all of a sudden something happened. When you get to the part that's previewed on the trailers, oh my God, does this story move? Does it just move at a breakneck speed? 2 hours does not seem like 2 hours, and quite honest, I could have gone for more. I could have gone more in depth, because the motive is not made real clear for what these things want. They tell you, but they don't really tell you much, and I think that's to credit of the movie. I hate when they force feed you plot, when they feel the need that they have to explain everything like you're an idiot. Intrigue is good, and Jordan Peele understands this. My God, this man understands this horror genre, and he mixes comedy in seamlessly. His comedy background and his his cinematography is stunning. It is amazing how he mixes shots with tension, how he takes one of my favorite songs, I got 5 on it, and he blends that in to make it the beat of a horror movie. And that song is that song is like, I got 5 on it, it's a jam out song. And he remixes it to make it hauntingly beautiful. Now, my cons, there are a few, but there are a few cons. One, you guys know I hate politics in the movie, and they are sprinkled into this. Not enough to turn me off, but enough to make me notice, okay? It's like that quota thing we're always talking about, and he does a tad bit check the box, okay? The other thing I didn't like is how the Caucasians are sort of portrayed in this. He doesn't outright disrespect the genre, but he throws in, they go a little bit quicker, okay? But you could say that he flips the horror genre around on its head, and he makes the African Americans the hero of the piece, and the Caucasians have always been, traditionally in horror movies, it's the truth, they've always been the hero. So I understand the genre swap to an extent. I just wish there would have been a little bit more fight. And it kind of annoyed me a little bit, but not enough to turn me away from the film. I was still in it. I was like, all right, okay, you got your statement in. I understand. It's not glaringly bad. My second problem with this film is the fact that they don't really touch whether this is a worldwide phenomenon. It's implied, but it's very vaguely glossed over. And there were some issues with developing these things a little bit more. Not saying you got to give us a ton of backstory, but a little bit more subtext. There's never explanation as to what started it all and who were the people behind it. And maybe he is leaving that to our imagination, which I can respect, or maybe he wants to see how well this does and does a sequel. I don't know. Also, too, the comedy, while it was an accent, it was a hindrance. Very good question, PB. This is a hybrid, and in a good way. It is a thriller / horror. There is a lot of thrilling moments, but very horrific in the thrill. And what I mean by that is it blends both very well. Now, this plays into my con, so I'm glad you asked that. The comedy. The comedy in this film, there were some moments, not very many, but there were a few where they said a joke where it was out of place. And it took you out of that thriller aspect, okay? You're going through a chase, bam, something explosive happens, you're in the moment, and then someone cracks a joke, and you're like, why? Why here? It kind of takes you out of it, and then you got to build up the tension again. So I think he's still finding his way on how to blend comedy with horror and still make it serious. But the ending, my God, the ending makes up for that. Because the ending, I'm still thinking about it. I gotta do a spoiler on this because I've gotta break this film down to tell you the ending and how brilliant this is. Because it's a cliche that's been used. And it shouldn't work, but it does. It works in this film. And I don't for the life of me know how he gets it to work so well. And we're talking about strong female characters. So this character, I thought was going to be a cardboard cutout. I thought when this female character started slowly taking the lead in this movie, I thought she was going to drop the ball and we were going to see a thing where, it's good, and then, politics ruins it. But no, he builds her backstory. Yeah, fake me out. He builds her backstory. He actually makes a very strong female African-American character. And I'm not doing a plug for those kind of films, but I'm just saying he's clever. He does it. He gives you a character who has a tragedy. And the struggle she has, I honestly didn't think she was going to make it. This is the first time I've seen a female character in a horror movie, and I felt like they may not actually be the star. I felt like they were going to not make it, and then bam, he throws the plot twist at the end, and it's so magnificent. Shyamalan, if you watch my reviews ever, that's how you do a plot twist. The plot twist at the ending and the shot at the ending is so beautiful. And not the very end shot. I thought that was kind of unnecessary. That's another con. But the shot where you have the settling, declining action of the story. You have the rising action and then you have the slow decrease. The decrease is so hauntingly beautiful. Everything is just so beautiful in this film, how he blends it. And for once, God help me, for once, the critics actually got it right. This man is going to make his mark on horror. If he produces horror films like this, that maybe have a little bit of a messaging that he wants to put in, not too much to turn you off, and he can still make a good story. Jordan Peele understands the art of story making. This man understands what drives a film, what we watch a movie for. He invests you in the character, even in the secondary characters. Thank you. He invests you in the secondary characters like no one I've ever seen. You shouldn't care, really. In a horror movie, you know that the secondary character is done. You look at him and you go, oh, Joe there, gone. All right, maybe he gets a good laugh here and there, but, I shouldn't invest my time, but my God, I was invested. There's only like a couple of people that are actually featured in this, maybe 4 people or so, that are featured as the main characters. It's a very small cast, and it works. And it's brilliant because when you oversaturate your film with too many characters, you take away from the narrative trying to fit a bunch of people in, and he knows this. I used to watch Keenan and Peele, and their comedy was funny, and he wrote a lot of the sketches, and there was some kind of brilliance in what he wrote, and I knew he was a good writer. And when yeah, it was kind of weird. The Caucasians felt like what the African Americans would be to horror. It was really it was really like weird. And in some senses of the word, it shouldn't work. But he makes it work. And this is what's brilliant about this film, is he makes it all work. And when you get to the ending, literally, I watched my friends go in. They went in the 7 o'clock showing. They were smart because I got to get up early. And I still go to a midnight show. Why? I have no clue. But less people. I digress. Anyways, I asked people from the 7 o'clock showing, and it was good. One of my friends who kind of thinks like me, he was like, I don't know. I got to think about it. And that told me everything. Because this kid is very smart when it comes to film. And he said, yeah, I gotta go home and really think about it. I don't know. And when he said that, I realized this was gonna be a think. And now coming out of it, I realized I gotta go see it again. I've gotta break this thing down and then really critique it for you, which I'll release the spoiler later when it's been out for a little bit. But I'm gonna go back and take notes and really go through some different points that I want to break down and the brilliance that is this film. And the great part is the trailers don't actually ruin it for you. I hate a movie when you go in, especially they do it all the time with horror. They show the best parts and you go into the film and you've seen the whole movie, and I hate it. Bad marketing. This film did not give you jack. Okay, this film's trailer does not... You're more confused watching that trailer than when you finally watch it. And it's how a trailer should be. When you finally watch the movie, you go in, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Not, oh my God, all right, this is the whole movie. No, I mean, Jordan marketed it well. He did the posters well. This man should be, like, spearheading every freaking horror movie that they make. Because this was just great. I have not seen my goodness, I haven't seen a good horror movie, and I've got to say, last year, I can't remember what was on the horror docket. But it gave me hope for the reboot of Pet Sematary. It really did. Because if people are writing horror movies like this, if we got talent like this that's out there, the horror genre is going to eclipse the things that I like. It really is. Because horror writers are putting thoughts into horror movies. This was not a cookie-cutter character building just for jump scares, kill a couple people and over with. This was a think piece. This was a reflection of who we are as people. Yeah, I gotta say, a lot of females came out of this terrified and not knowing what to think, so I don't know how that bodes for you, dude. I'm sorry. This one might be one you have to go and see on your own because it is truly terrifying. The violence is tastefully done, so it's not over-the-top gore, but it is haunting enough to thrill you. It's one of those things where he doesn't go, and I'm going again. I know I got way more pros than cons, but sometimes that's just how these things work. He doesn't go overboard with the blood and gore. He does it enough, and the camera cuts. He cuts away enough to where you get the and you know, but he doesn't have to show you. Your imagination, the man understands horror, and he understands that the imagination is more terrifying than seeing it. Something about seeing it desensitizes you, but what you don't see That's the scary part of horror films. From horror movies, the thing you don't see is what scares you. That's what made Halloween a great film. Even though there was blatant, outright killing, there was things that were done off screen that were more terrifying to me. And the presence. And that's what these things have. That's what this movie has, is presence. It has a haunting presence and a color palette that isn't always dark but still scary. Even in the light, it's still scary because of the colors that he chooses to use in the film. Everything is done so purposefully, and everything is shot in such a way. The man doesn't waste the camera angle. Yeah, I got a review on it, a non-spoiler review. You can check it out. That's another one I gave a glowing review. And I really hope they don't butcher it by trying to make 16 other sequels, because they ended it fine. They respected the legacy. Legacy was successfully respected, and I'll be really mad if they do 15 more. But anyways, this movie is a true... I'm sorry, PB. This movie is a true respect to horror in general. It's a respect, culturally. It's a respect to that, to the cliches. He respects them. He takes them, he manipulates them, but he respects that they're there. He understands that horror movies have certain cliches, and he respects it. And he doesn't try to twist it and manipulate it and messaging it. He respects the genre of horror. And that's what I loved about this movie. It was just, all I can describe it as is hauntingly beautiful. It is a hauntingly beautiful 2-hour mind trip that I just got out of. I literally am going to go see this film again. I'm going to go watch it again. I'm going to bring a notepad, and I'm going to annoy people with my scratching. Fandom Grove, great to have you on the channel. Welcome, buddy. I'm going to do a very brief recap so I don't have to retrend everything I just did for 27 minutes. But, everything done in this movie is beautiful. The acting is stellar, and it's got great character development. My cons, and probably my one and only con until I, deep dive it, I would have to say was the humor was misplaced in some parts. So, this is beautiful, it's haunting, it's how you do horror. The cons are that the humor is misplaced, and another con is it still feels like he's journeying through horror. And that's not necessarily a con. That could be a pro too. He hasn't found his beat, and we are traveling with this director as he finds his way through this genre. Clearly, this is where he wants to make his mark. And he respects it. He respects the base he's built with Get Out. And he doesn't try to insult us by shoving down narratives. He does throw in some narratives, and that was my con. A few things about America and things like that. And a couple of things racially that he flips around. But those things I can forgive because I think he flips them on purpose. The narrative for horror movies have always been that the Caucasian makes it, and the other characters, no matter what their race are, they're doomed by some trope. And he sees that and goes, aha, I'm going to do it this way. And he doesn't care about what we think, which I can respect that. I can respect that he's using the cliches against us and our expectations against us, and he's saying, this is what I'm trying to tell you. And it doesn't feel like it's narrative. It feels like character and world building within our world. That's the creepy part. This movie builds a new world in our world, in our own world, in this era. And he takes it and he makes a weird thing that happens, because I'm not spoiling, but the way he pushes it in and he makes this thing creep in, it's haunting because you could see it happening. And he doesn't give an overarching, the villain of this piece isn't some shady government organization. He's not trying to make a statement about the government. I think the statement is about society. And it's done tastefully. It is done in the most tasteful, respectful way while using a horror movie to do it. And that's what I respected about Get Out. is that I felt like what he was trying to say wasn't in your face. It was done through satire and horror, and I could appreciate what he was trying to do. It just fell flat, the ending. The ending for this, oh my god, did he learn? And I was saying, Shyamalan, take notes, because the plot twist was so beautifully executed. And maybe not Sixth Sense. I wouldn't put it like there. I think he's still got some work, because I should have seen it coming, and maybe the other things I was looking for deterred me. But the way he flips it, and you're just like, oh my god. Like, jeez. Wow. I mean, it is brilliant storytelling. To weave a character. This character is a strong female. Make no mistake. A strong African-American female. The man does it right. He does it right. He makes her struggle real. And she doesn't go overpowering. She doesn't go SJW and just beat everything that comes together. She gets knocked down. There are parts where I am legitimately scared for this family. Every one of them, even the secondaries. I am scared for them. I am thinking they're not going to make it. And when they make it, it feels like a victory for me. And this actor in particular, this woman, I'm going to get her name when I do my spoilers, but she is a brilliant actress. Yep, it's Monica Rambeau. The girl grew up, that's who we were watching. Let's go and take out Larson. And maybe Brie Larson's acting has just made me see everything a little bit more rosy. But no, this lady, I think it's Zoe, and I don't remember the last name, but she's brilliant. She plays the vulnerability card through this thing like a champ. And when she switches, you buy it. When that final confrontation happens and things are happening, you buy her progression. You buy the arc that he's showing you. And you're in it. You're engaged. And my God, the finale. The finale. I mean, no horror movie should have a good straight out finale like that. Oh, I mean, I don't want to give it away. A part of me wants to tell you, but I can't. I can't spoil this for you guys. But the finale makes it worth sitting through this. When you see what the story is about, when you get the explanation, when you get the haunting, chilling realization of what this tale is about, and when Keenan Peele makes you look at what he's trying to say. Yeah, great. He is phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I mean, everyone across the board plays their role to a T, and you love every one of them. That's the thing. A secondary character should just die and you shouldn't care, but you love them. And I'm not saying they do or they don't. I want you to find that out. But I will tell you, you will root for everyone. You will legitly not want a single person to die. And that's what a horror movie should be. You know, a lot of these horror directors got into this mode where they think it's blood and guts and swearing, and it's not. There is very little actual brutal violence. It's more, there is some hard to watch scenes, but there's a lot of cutaways. And he does it so artistically that your mind is racing. When you get to these scenes, your mind is racing and you're wondering what they're going to use, how are they going to get out of this situation. And from beginning to end, from start to finish, you are in it with them. And then when you're hit with the twist, you're like, wow, that was worth 2 hours. That was worth $10.50. That was worth 2 hours of my life. That was worth going into the theater at 10 o'clock at night so I can review it for you now. My goodness, was that worth it. 2 hours and 1 minute, not wasted of my life. Scream movies were classic. I will always love Scream. It holds a special thing in my heart. That was another genre flip moment where they really turned the horror genre on its head. And Keenan is doing that. I will watch everything this man makes from now on. After Get Out, I was on the fence until I started reading the premise of Us, and I said, I'll give him one more shot. I will watch everything this man puts out. I will be the first one in line for every single movie that he makes, because he is a brilliant director. He is a brilliant writer. He knows what he's good at, and he's trying to revolutionize where he is in the film. He isn't trying to do something extremely different. He's tweaking his style, and it feels like I'm going on a journey with his film exploits. Get Out was his test baby, you know. It was his launch pad. It was him throwing things together and seeing what works. And we brought it. For the most part, a lot of people liked it, and I'll admit it, I liked the beginning. Like I said, I didn't feel the ending. This time he knew. I think he even felt that the ending of Get Out was not where he really wanted to put it. And the ending of this, bravo. That is where the ending of Get Out should have been for me, considering how pretty well even that movie was. This one, he knew the beginning, he built it up, and he made it, it's a slow burn. That first, 25 minutes is kind of slow. Thank you, Lupita. That's who. Thank goodness for Google. PB, you're making me look good. That's why I do these streams live, so that you guys can save me if I'm gonna fall on my face. So thank you. But yeah, she's amazing. She is amazing. I hope that he casts her in more horror movies, because the depth of emotion and where she has to have lack of emotion, it's not wood-faced. It is like seeing someone going through a particular thing that she goes through. That is baked into the character. That's part of the character. And the evolution, the fact that he can evolve this strong female character in the time limit that he has, and he doesn't force it down your throat. I mean, there's a couple of times where she yells at the dad and you're thinking, is she putting him down? But then you're like, no, this is a family. Families get into fights. This isn't her being assertive and saying, I'm the female, I'm taking the lead. Anyone who's married, PB, you know this feeling when the wife gets sick of a certain situation and she says, you know what? Quiet down. I'm taking charge because I'm upset now. And we're gonna figure this thing out. But she doesn't leave the male out of the decision making. She doesn't take away the fact that he's still the protector. She still entrusts him with the safety of the kids. She isn't trying to be over-dominating. She is trying to work together to get out of a terrible situation. She isn't leaving the dynamic. She's pulling the family in and holding them close to her. And you see it. And it doesn't make sense till you get to the ending. And then it's all the more haunting because of what happens. And you're just like, my goodness. And it's so beautiful. Thank you, it's so beautiful. Anyone who's a family person that sees this film on their own will be like, yeah, you know, when they see the particular scene I'm talking about, they'll be like, yeah, been through it with the wife. I understand that. Good on you, Keenan. You understand. You understand that family dynamic. And the beautiful part about this is he doesn't try to deconstruct and throw away the family dynamic in the interest of making some, 2-bit kind of horror. He doesn't disrespect that. He makes the family dynamic the core to understanding why the characters are doing what they're doing, making the choices that they're making, and we buy it. We believe it. We want to invest in the family, and that's beautiful. That is beautiful for an R-rated film that's a horror movie, to see someone who's actually caring about the family dynamic and weaving it into the horror, weaving it into that thrilling suspense, you know, that the kids and the husband, their lives are on the line as a group. There's something so haunting about that little thing, about he understands about that need to protect your kids, and he plays it into the narrative, but he doesn't disrespect it. He makes it as part of this is their motivation, but I'm not going to make them go throw out the dynamic just to advance my story. Because that's going to be part of the narrative. and it's good writing. It is not lazy writing, and I've said it 100 times in my reviews. I hate lazy writing, and he doesn't. He doesn't throw away a scene, and he doesn't write something lazy just to push some kind of an agenda or narrative that he wants to push. And he sneaks it in kind of clever. I actually laughed. The part where he snuck in a little bit of a political tint to it, I laughed. I was like, oh, all right, okay, dude. You know, it's Hollywood, it's entertainment, whatever. You gotta throw it in so that these shill medias will be like, oh, he threw that in for me. You know, forget the movie. I can interpret this as some kind of blah, blah, blah statement that they're gonna run with. But they're not gonna see the deeper narrative that he's done, the clever thing that he's done. I don't know where his politics are leading exactly, but the kind of thing that he weaves in, he's not trying to go one way or the other. He's trying to tell a story about a family caught in a deeper plot that we don't understand yet, or that they don't understand, and we are journeying with them through this terrifying journey into where we don't know where it's going exactly. You have no clue. And then when you get there, there's something so beautiful about the journey you've taken. There's something so, you shouldn't love the journey, but you do, and you're terrified. You're terrified of the fact of what happens. It's terrifying because you love it and you understand it and you respect it. So in close, do I think you should see this movie? Yes. Yes. Go and see this movie immediately. It will be showing more tomorrow. Go see it this weekend and support the fact that this movie, this man knows how to tell his tale. I predict he is going to be a legacy horror maker. He is going to eventually reach the heights of Carpenter. He is going to reach the heights of Craven. Okay? He is gunning for that spot. He is showing respect to this genre, and he is innovating it in a respectful manner, and he's not pandering, and he's not trying to twist it and use it for a vehicle. He's trying to leave a mark. He's trying to let you know this is a Jordan Peele film, and this is what you can expect from him. And if you don't like it, oh well, you don't have to watch it. But he says it in a respectful manner, and I dig it. I'll watch it. I respect it, dude. I respect where you're going, and I respect what you're doing. I respect your views, and I respect that you respect me as an audience member, and you're not treating me like an idiot. You're treating me like a film goer, and you have a tale, a very good tale that you want to tell about people and about humanity. And when you see this movie, watch it for these things. Watch it for what he says as humanity as a whole. This movie is about humanity. Thank you, $3. I respect you too, dude. This movie, in close, I'm gonna close with this. This movie, if I give you anything, and I'm not even spoiling it, I want you to look for this. I want you to study this and find this in this movie. This movie is about humanity. Plain and simple. It is about humanity, and I'm not spoiling anything. You've seen it in the trailers where there's two of them. But this movie is about humanity and duality. And it's a strong, powerful thing when you go through this journey. And I want you to look at it and really dig into what he's saying as a whole. Because he's doing something that no one else is doing in entertainment today, in Hollywood. He's holding up a haunting mirror. And he's letting you take this movie and make your own judgment on the statement. What do you see this movie as when you're looking in that mirror? You can have several takeaways. I'm like going through 15 in my mind right now. But my biggest takeaway from this movie is that it is a mirror into humanity, and we are staring back at it, at ourselves. And he wants to make a statement here of what do you see. Forget the country, okay? Forget the world, forget the politics, forget the media is what he's saying essentially. He's saying look at yourself. As a human being, what do you see? Where are you in all of this? And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful statement. I understand it. I understand what he's telling me because he's not giving you his opinion. He does throw in what he views in certain parts, but he's letting you decide on your own what you see in humanity, and it is brilliantly done. He is holding up the mirror for all of us, and he is saying, what do you see? What do you get out of this? If you're in this situation, if you have these things happen to you, what is your takeaway from this experience? Where do you go? Are you the villain? Are you the hero? This movie, to me, symbolizes a kind of like one of those things where the old storybooks where you read and then you have to flip the book to the other page and you make the choice, and then the choice you make determines the end of the book. Those kind of books that they used to make back in the day. That's what this movie is. This movie is, you have a character you're following, they have a beginning, middle, and end, they have an arc, that's their story, but in a sense, we're taking our own journey, and he is saying, okay, this is what they did, but if you were in this situation, what would you do? What would you do? Would you make the same exact choice? And how would it look to you? In this world, in our world, this situation that's happening, and everything that's mirroring each other, where do you fall? And there's something beautiful in that statement. There's something so beautiful in how he's doing it. You know what? The beautiful part about this is, it isn't I don't feel, maybe someone's going to take something different, and that's cool, that's their opinion. But I don't take that he's going the respect women route, you know? He's not doing that. He actually built a believably strong female character who doesn't compromise the structure of the story that you can still like, and did it cleverly. Exactly. And this man knows how to write a female character. That's apparent. When you watch this film, that's alright, $3. If you have to go, I understand. Man, don't leave the phone at 2%. Mine's in the charger right now as I'm doing this review. The man understands that character building and us caring about a character, you can't make them flat. So he doesn't fill it up with a bunch of his views. I felt like, made this character organically grow on its own. And he starts the character here, and maybe I would like to get a making of and see what his thoughts were. Maybe this character morphed on its own, but it's so progressive itself. She's so, oh God, that actress. So progressive in the way she portrays this character. It doesn't feel forced, not 1 minute. You're not forced into her doing an action. It feels natural, and that's good character building. That's good character development. And my biggest takeaway from the film is that sense of it's so clever. Even the name, Us. I finally understand the marketing. It is literally about us. The film is powerful and subtle in everything that it does, and my God, this man should write the next Star Wars film. Lucasfilms / Disney Films, get on the horn, call Keenan Peele, he will fix the universe. Because maybe he can undo with his brilliant writing, maybe he could just undo all of the crap you just did, because this man knows how to make films. This man knows how to build characters. This man knows what we want to see and what we're going to invest our time in. Right down to the marketing. When I saw that poster, I said, wow. And I saw the title, it didn't hit me. And it's so brilliant in the way that he tells the story that when you come out of Us, you finally understand what the title means. What the title is saying. It's simplistic, yet it's rooted deeper. And he's just brilliant. This man is brilliant. He is going to change horror. Mark my words, on this day today, I said this man is going to change the horror genre and steer it in the way it should be going. And I can't give it enough praise. So do I think you should see this film? Yes. Go tomorrow. Anyone who views this video later, go see Us tomorrow and support this movie because it is writing at its finest. And I can't wait to see other reviewers covering this, and hopefully I'm the first one to cover this before everyone else gets on this, because for once, I hate to say it, there's something about a magical movie where even when shill media, you agree with them, and you say, you know what? They're critiquing Bones actually got this right. And he's brilliant because he's in that crowd enough for them to get behind his films. And bless you, Peele, I understand. Smart move. Smart move. You get to tell your own stories. You get to write the way you want to write and not have to really pander to these people. March 22nd. Thank you. March 22nd, 2019, 1:15. Central Time, I'm going to take that as. I said this man is going to change horror, and I stick by my word. I will watch every single movie he puts out from now on. He can put out a horror movie about a cat, and I will invest my time in it. Goose. Reggie, you got work. No. This was brilliant writing, and I'm glad to see that someone can mingle with this elitist crowd, but not be them. That he respects what he's trying to do, and he doesn't compromise. He does sprinkle in just a little bit so that they can go and they can make their own narrow-headed views and take what they want to take away. They can take that little bit, but we get the deeper stuff. We get the good stuff. We get the character development. And Keenan, thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate what you are doing to this genre. I appreciate that you don't treat me stupid. That you can still kind of appease this one side very, very, very delicately, but you could tell a story to the majority, and he realizes the market, and he doesn't treat it stupid. So thank you. In close, I'm going to say, this is a brilliant movie. Go and see it. And you may have to see it again. You may have to watch it twice when you get to that ending and go, wow, I got to deconstruct this in my mind and figure out what does it mean? I love this feeling of coming out of the theater and having this on my face. This right here. I love this. The thought is going. My mind is turning. And I'm going to be happy to view this a second time and annoy someone. I'm probably going to have to go to a late showing so that I can scratch down notes and then bring a spoiler review, and then we can deep dive this baby because there's so much to talk about in this film. God, there's so many layers to break down and to uncover for us to all enjoy and talk about. This film is going to be talked about. It'll be debated, and I love it. Hands down, right now, this is my favorite horror movie. Now, Pet Sematary, you got a high bar, man. Because this one just set my expectations for everything horror coming out to, like, right here. So, horror genre, the bar's been set. It's up to you directors to meet it. Good luck, because this was brilliant. Good luck, that's all I got to say about that. So anyways, if you like this, hit the subscription. Everyone, thank you who was here listening to me talk for 53 minutes. I appreciate you. For a not in-depth review, it got kind of long-winded there, so I appreciate the sentiment. And also, if you like the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you know people, let them know. Tweet out this review. Let them know when I do these things. Thank you, Journey. I appreciate you. I said Journey. Phantom, I appreciate you. I love your tagline there. Trademark it. It's great. To everyone else, go and see this film right away. Go see it tomorrow. Catch whatever showing you can. And, yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to take the wife to this one, but you will be able to enjoy this film and really deep dive into it. And I want you to leave comments below. Leave comments below and let me know what you got out of the movie. I want to hear what all of you pulled from this film, and let me know if you saw the same thing that I did, because here on this channel, we're about talking. We're about debating. We're about sharing our views and opinions, and I want you guys to share with me. Until the next time, Tell me about it, man. Females, what a trip. And on that note, before any my toxic mail really comes out here, I am going to say here at the theater, hold on, give you guys a little snapshot here. Here at the theaters, right there, bam. I and Goose the Cat will see you for another review back at the cinemas. Till then,